Okay, so I want to explain something that has given me a lot of grief and how I figured it out. Uh, One very useful video for sure was the big thing. But anyhow, so my big problem was I needed a character, right, that could move, that had a weird shape, like, like this, right? It was can't use the BP character class, or maybe you can. But the problem with that is that the collision is like a capsule or whatever, right? So, this is what I did, and this is what worked. I'll just show you first. So you got the thing, right? It moves. How fast it falls is totally, I can make it more proper, and I could make it smoother too, but I just haven't got there yet. But anyways, as you can see, it has nice collision. Yeah. Okay. Let me show you how I actually got this to work. So you want a pawn class, right? You got to use that. And then this is something I made. Like, so this is a collision that I made. And I've just put a material on it that makes it completely see-through. So you can't see it. But it has custom collision that I made inside of Blender, right? Now, um, yeah, so you can watch videos on how to do it, but basically you just make a bunch of squares and stuff like that. You need something that the you can attach collision to when you export it. So I have this, and then you have all the other parts, right? And you just need to UCX underscore the name of the thing you're attaching the collision to, right? And then you put all the parts in, one, two, three, so on and so forth, until you have the shape that you want, right? Okay, back to Unreal. Anyhow, so, if I were to put this, you'd see it's there, and this is what my collision looks like. But I don't need it. I don't want to be able to see it for obvious reasons, so I made a see-through material. Anyhow, okay, so what you want to do, right, is you want to use an add actor world offset or local. Watch the video that I'll put in the link, and he'll explain all the movement stuff. But you basically do that, right? And this is just, my inputs, my player input right here. This goes from 0 to 1. And this is my move up and down. I don't need to have down, but anyhow, for what I'm doing, but you can. Or you could have left and right? But for my game, as you see, I don't need that. And then sweep. This is the big motherfucker. You want to use sweep. And to use sweep, so sweep will only take the collision off of the top. Like, it has to be the root component, right? So like when you normally make a pawn, there'll be a thing above it, right? You just grab this and you drag it on top of the thing. It needs to be the root component. All right. So this is all well and good. You're able to move. You're able to move your guy, and he bumps into stuff. He doesn't just go through walls and shit, right? And then, but there's no gravity. So that's all this is. This is gravity. So I so the way this works is it's just if if my up and down is equal to 0, so my input, if I'm not putting an input to move up, right, then I want this to be true. And then also, if I'm if I'm not, you can get when you're sweeping, right? You can get a hit result. So if I am not hitting something, right? If I'm not hitting something, I want gravity to be off, because what happens is if this was on, then you're constantly moving down into the ground and you're not able to move left and right. So, and this is what worked for me. This is about a week and a half of trying to figure this out. I'm sure there's way better ways of doing it, but I'm just happy to have it done. And then, like I said, like, so it looks choppy, like the movement is really like analog-y, but you can fix that, right? So so if I had gravity to stay on when I was hitting the ground, you can see. I'll just put it to true. I gotta remove that. I guess, well, actually no, that means gravity's just not on. Whatever. You can take my word for it. So yeah, and then also with this I can just change the amount of gravity really easily. It's good. What the fuck? All right. That is how I got it to work. I hope it helps somebody in the future.